Hi everyone, Suzanne from Wellness Embodied in Cairns. I'm here with Eliza, my colleague today, and we are going to talk and show you a couple of tips related to sprains and strains. So first of all, the difference. So a strain generally refers to a muscle and a sprain refers to a ligament. When you come in for a physio assessment, we can grade these as a 1, 2, or a 3. So a grade 1 is generally when you've just got tweaked the fibers a little bit. Healing time is a lot quicker. So kind of in that 2 to 4 weeks sort of area. A grade 2 is where you maybe have a few other muscle fibers or ligament fibers torn, but it's not a full tear. So you don't really have a massive amount of over movement. And a grade 3 is where we get a full tear. So on all of our treatment rooms, we talk about the stages of healing, of injury, and you may be able to see some of this. Today we're going to talk you through the acute stage, which is where we should be protecting the sprain or the strain, the repair stage, which is where we really start to regenerate the tissue. The tissue is starting to get stronger, but it's not quite back to full strength. So we still need to protect it a little bit, but we can load it a bit more and try and get some more normal movement. And then our remodeling stage, which is basically even once the ligament, as we're going to talk about here, the ankle ligament, has healed, there's often a big deficit in balance, and that can go on for a long period of time, and it can actually predispose you to future sprains, I should say, if you don't rehab it properly. So first of all, Eliza and I are going to talk about what to do in the acute stage. So let's flip around to Eliza. So in our acute stage, we're looking to protect the ligaments.
So what you want to do is optimise a normal gait pattern to start off with, because you don't want to result in a restriction in your joint range of motion. So when you're walking, it's very important to try and work for even weight bearing and a nice heel strike as you're taking each step. So again, even step length, heel strike each time.
And Eliza, what do we think about rice?
Currently, the evidence suggests rice is now outdated, and we like to use police, which is protection, optimal loading, and sort of eye compression elevation. So we don't want to be resting it too much. We want to start putting a little bit of force through that ankle joint or wherever your injury is, just to start to try and encourage normal remodeling of the injured fibers.
Awesome. So we always want to look for that normal walking pattern and for normal movement. So then we move into our subacute, our repair phase, and Eliza's just going to show you one of the many exercises we might prescribe for an ankle sprain during that stage.
So one of the common deficits that we do see in an ankle sprain is a restriction in someone's ability to pull their toes back towards the shin. Now mine's actually quite terrible. I have had an ankle sprain before. So an exercise that you can do is just down on your knee, similar to what a hip flexor stretch would look like, and you just shift your weight forward. Now you can do this as like a joint mobilization, so you kind of put a little bit of a balancing force onto it, or you can lean forward even more and hold that position, allow your body weight to push your knee down.
Awesome. And then this is kind of the stage at which I guess a lot of people get lazy and stop, and this is what makes them a little bit more predisposed to having a sprain again in the future. So now we move on to our remodeling stage. So what do we particularly want to work on then, or giving us just one thing we might want to work on?
I would say stability in the ankle and balance would be the top things to start to work on, because otherwise you're just predisposed to spraining your ankle again, particularly if you sprained it playing sport or falling down a gutter or things like that.
Awesome. So in our rehab room, we might use, say, some of our balance equipment, and we might use some of our dumbbells to just do some weighted work. We might use our reformer, which Clara is currently using as a chair. So that's basically, just to give you a little look again, at healing stages of an acute injury. We do have this on our blog, and I will post the blog post in the comments below just to give you a little bit more of an idea, and I will also post a link to our upcoming rehab room times. So any sprains or strains that you're dealing with, please don't hesitate to comment below and ask us for more information. We'll speak to you soon.